Hello. Hello. Let me get my I haven't got the comments on. Bear with me. I'll get them up now. Hello. Gosh, I've got a couple of new lights going on today. Hi, Oriana. Hello. And I'm just getting used to the placement of the wires because they're a bit everywhere. So, and then hi, Carol. I need to have a think about what to make. That's going to be the next good thing to do, is what are we going to make? Ponder. I'm just looking around me, deciding what I want to use. Because if you're new to this, that's how Sundays work. Sundays are a day of just kind of going with the flow and seeing what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm quite fancying the idea of making like a folio type of thing. Hi, Marianne. Hi, Sue. Hi. So, yeah, I'm thinking a folio might be quite a nice thing to make. You know, like it opens up and it's got little pockets either side, and maybe a couple of pages in the middle too. I'm not sure. So that's one of the things I'm thinking about. Oh, me too, Sue. Me too. Every day's a new one, isn't it? But oh dear me. Yeah. So I'm gonna use some packaging. I mean, I'm making this up as I go along. So I've got hi, Selena. So I've got no idea really what I'm doing, but we'll go with it and see what happens. There's a little bit of damage there, but I don't think that's gonna be a problem. Right. Okay. So I want to cut across here to start with, I think. What am I going to use? Bear with me. Hi, Facebook user, whoever you may be. Let's have a look. I think what I might do is I might use my paper trimmer. I mean, the paper trimmer is not going to go through this, but it's going to give me a nice straight bite. So I'm going to do that. Does anybody have a favourite paper trimmer? I haven't decided on my favourite yet. I like a guillotine. I really do like my Tim Holtz guillotine, but it's quite, the one I've got is it's sort of, you know, it goes up to 7 inches wide, and I could really do with something bigger. Hi, Fiona. No picture or sound? Oh, you should. Well, obviously, there's no point me. Can everybody see me and hear me? Can everybody see me and hear me? That's my question. Can you hear me and can you see me? Oh, on the train, Marcia. How lovely. Right. Okay, so Carol Lewis, can you now see me and hear me? Because everybody else can see me and hear me. All right. Let's kind of cut there. I've got my reminder that I'm doing a live. That's timely, isn't it? Right, we might need that bit of cardboard, so we'll put that over there. And Let's have a look at what we're going to do. Right. So I'm just taking this edge off here. There we go. Hi Jackie, it's Rachel here. Leanne's in the shop and I'm not sure if she's got she might have a class today actually. I'm sure she'll pop in and say hello at some point, but I'm not sure if she's teaching a class today in the shop. Right, so let me just take I can't get that off there, but never mind. Don't send me hate mail if you see my address, please. Right. Let's have a look. So, hi Linda. Lovely to see you. Hi Facebook user. Yes, so I've cut my packaging. So I've got this, which is good. This is a good start. I'm going to trim that little edge off there. Like so. And then I need to think now because I'm going to make sure I get this right. Right, so now I've got this sort of creases here, which is kind of handy. And is that, yeah, that's all ish. No, it's not quite the same. Let's trim that back as well because I want it vaguely symmetrical. Okay, so I've got this going on now, which is good. And what I need to do now is I need to do some scoring before I do some cutting. So I'm going to find my scoreboard. There we go. Yeah, so does anybody have a favourite paper trimmer? That is what I was interested to know. I'm very curious about the whole paper trimmer business. Let me just see where that goes. So, because I'm working this out as I go, so I'm just trying to see how big I want my folio. So 9.5, 4 3/4 would be a halfway point there. Do I want? I don't think I want. I think I could go to the 5 actually. It's all right. I'm just pondering. But then if I go to 5, I need 4.5 the other. Right. So I'm going to scoop because this is 9.5 inches wide-ish. And so what I want to do is I want to be able to open this up and have little flappy pockets. So I'm just trying to work out how far in I want to come for that. So I've got, this is a 9.5 inch wide front, and I'm just deciding because I probably want some sort of spine going on as well so that I can stuff my pockets. All right, let's make this up as I go along. So I'm going to start from the spine and work my way out because I think that is going to be the most sensible thing for me to do. So I'm going to come in 1/4 inch either side of my spine. because I think that's going to give me, I mean, like I say, I am thinking, because that's all I can do. I can't, you know, I've not planned this. I've got no idea if it's going to work, but I'm happy to give it a go. So because this is slightly thicker cardboard, I need to just get in there and manipulate that fold a little bit. There we go. Just, oh, hi Peggy, hi Sue, hi Angela, hi Tanith. So I've got that sort of, I've given myself a little spine, which I think, given that I want to give myself pockets that I can stuff things in, I think that's probably a good idea. But that also means I'm going to need to give my pockets a sort of spine as well. So let's have a look. If I fold that on its fold, and I'll come here, and I can see now I'm on 9 1/4 for this. So for my side panels now, if I come up, sorry if this, I'm having to sort of witter as I'm working it out, because this is what I do when I'm sat here on my own. I witter. I witter and I do. So I think if I come in for, I should be able to come in. Let me think. I think if I come in 4, or to be on the safe side, I'll come in 4 there. And then I want to give myself 1/8 of an inch little spine on the foldy bit, because I can't do, what I want is if I do 1/8 of an inch spine on each side bit, this 1/4 of an inch central spine will be broad enough for the 2 sides to fold in. I hope that makes some sort of sense. I mean, that's how it works in my head anyway. Hopefully I'm right. So we'll turn it over and do the same again. So I came in 4, and then gave myself a little 1/4 of an inch. Oops, careful. A little 1/4 of an inch spine. So that should work. Oh, you've got to have a good witter. You've got to have a good witter. So I've got my little spines. Now, actually, I could do another, because I've done. I see what I've done now, because I did 1/4 of an inch on each side, so I've actually got 1/2 an inch. So these could be 1/4 of an inch spines. So I'm going to go back in and I'm going to make them that little bit bigger, and it'll be fine doing these double scores like I've done on the spine. Actually, it's going to give me a sort of a rounded look on them, which I don't mind. I'm not. That's it. So that's gone a little bit. See the size difference there? So I'm going to do this one now as well. There we go. So I'm going to fold that one just to get that one in place. Come along, you. Come along. There we go. Oh, I love a good witter. It gets me through the day. Right, so I quite like how that's going to work now. That's going to be... Oh, now is that one the same size? I scored it the same. It needs just a little bit more folding on the other score line, I think. Let's have a look. Oh, yes. Right, so now, hopefully you can see that. I've got my I've got my spine and I've got my two sort of folio pocket score lines in. Yay! Excuse me for yaying, but that was I wonder why I'd chosen to do something with so many measurements for a minute then, but it's all right. It's coming together. It's going to be okay. Right, so now what I want to do is I want to do some diagonal cuts on these to make it just easier to pull things in and out of them. So am I gonna go right across there? Yes, I am. So I'm going from the top score line. Let me just measure an inch or two up, just to make life easier. So I'm just measuring 2 inches up here, and I'm putting a mark. And obviously I've got where that first little score is. But I probably want to come in. I'm going to come in an inch from that first little mark as well. And then all I need to do is line up my cutting line to cut this in a diagonal. So I've done that on there. So I've got that part of my folio in place. I hope I'm using the right word. I think I am. Now let's just measure the other side. Oh, hello from Norway. Hello. I'm not sure who you are because you're coming up as Facebook user. But hello, and it's lovely to have you here. So I'll come 2 inches up there, and I'm going to go 1 inch in from my score line there. And then that means that I can cut that little section out. If I match them up on the line. There we go. So I've now got my little pockets sorted, my spine sorted. Oh, everything is coming together nicely. I'm very happy with that so far. Now what I do want to do is I want to give myself bottoms to these pockets. So I'm going to get a bit of that cardboard that I didn't use. And so I need them to be 1/4 of an inch wide. And I probably need 1/4. So if I cut some 1/2 inch strips that are 1/2 inch by, oh, handy dandy, 1/2 inch by 4 inches, that should be what I need. Let me just get that off. Oh, hi. Hi, is that Frodis? Frodis? Am I saying that right? Hopefully I am. If not, please tell me. And so I want to cut 1/2 inch. Oh, I could do. Let's do a full inch because it's easier to find on the cutting board. And that's the reason for that. and a full inch by 4 inches. Now actually I need to have a little bit that comes up the back there, so let's go by 5 inches. So I'm going to do another inch by 5 inches. Oh no, Angela. It depends. I think it depends where you're watching it from. It depends which platform you're on, I think. So that's 5 there. So where did I put my other little strip? Right, so these strips are going to be my I don't know what you'd call them, the bits at the bottom of the pockets, that's what I call them. So let me get that out of the way. And I need my scoreboard again. I could really do with a smaller scoreboard for this sort of thing, because this is quite a chunky old beast. Right, so I'm just popping that one in place, and I'm going to come in and line this up, because for some reason it starts. It's a really odd scoreboard anyway. That's what it is. It's a very odd scoreboard. So, oops, veering off there. There must be something stuck on the back of here, I think. Okay, so I'll fold that there and fold that there. Oh yes, there's a little bit of an edge there, but that's fine. We're going to be covering all of this up anyway. And then I need to come in an inch. Oh no, actually, I'm going to change my mind on that. I'm going to be coming in 1/2 inch there. And I'm going to come in 1/2 inch there. And I'll show you why when I put it together now. So I want to have 1/4 inch vaguely. Doesn't have to be bang on the middle, but I want 1/4 inch. What is going on there? That's very odd. 1/4 inch there, and then I'm going to do 1/2 inch at each end, and you'll see why now. Well, hopefully you'll see why if I'm correct in my in my idea. I could be completely wrong. So let's fold that. Hello, Facebook user. Hi, Jenny. Nice to see you. Ah, Freya's Day. Freya's Day. What a beautiful name. Beautiful name. Oh, Olga's doing her pancakes. Well done, Olga. There you go. So let me show you my thoughts on this, which could be completely wrong, but you know, you don't know unless you try. So what I'm thinking for this folio is I've got this strip, which is the same. I've done the same width here as I've got on the spine, and I'm going to put it here. But what I want to do is I want to create ends for it. Now this end has got to come up here anyway to secure it. We'll see if it's going to work. It might not work. It might not work. I mean, normally if I'm doing a live with something like this, I spend ages practicing. Hi, Jill. I spend a lot of time practicing before I actually show anybody. So we'll see. This may or may not work. So I've done that, and I want that to come up. So I'm going to cut those back a little bit, and we'll see if it works. It may not, but that's okay. Oh yes, that is going to work. So I'm going to trim that. Well, actually, I'm not going to worry about trimming that side because that will be stuck in there. But I am going to trim this side when I do it now. So about there. Hopefully it'll work. And that's going to go in there like that. And that's going to come up there like that. There we go. Yes, that is, I'm happy with that. All right, let me get a little bit of glue on the go. And we'll see how this goes. Well, I hope it's going to go well. There, let's stick that on there. Give it a little hold for a minute because I want it to stay stuck, ideally. And then this side, I'm going to do the same thing, and hopefully it will stay stuck. Staying stuck is the primary objective. So you can see I've made myself a little channel, and I'm going to stick that here. I hope that's going to serve a purpose. We'll see. I mean, obviously it does mean that I'm limiting myself to how broad things are that I put in here, but I wanted to make sure that things like that. Make sure that's tucked properly into that spine. Just need to hold it for a second just for the glue to really take hold. There we go. I think we're good. So I've now I've created a little pocket there so that anything I put in there isn't gonna disappear out the other end. So I'm going to do the same on the other side. Now I could have taken that up there, couldn't I? That would have been a good call. That would have been a good call. Now I'm just thinking about doing that now on the other side. I mean, it's not too late. I could pull this off, and I could do that. Is it too late? No, it's too late. That's going to ruin the cardboard if I pull that off now. But I could do it on this side. I'm going to. So what I need to know is I need to remember that was 2 inches up. I did that, didn't I? So and I can put something on the end of that one to finish it. So instead of doing what I did last time, I'm still going to do an inch. Still going to do my strip an inch. Let's get you here. There you go. There. Now I've still got my strip inch. Now I need to make sure that I've got the 4 inches that it is across, a little half an inch to come up one end, so that's 4.5 inches. But then I also need to add another 2 inches to come up the other side, so that's 6.5 inches that I need. Hopefully that makes sense. I feel like I'm talking absolute riddles at the moment, but hopefully it will make sense. And I'm going to cut myself a little strip to fill in the one that I'd done previously as well. All right, so we're nearly done with all the measuring and cutting and scoring. So if that's not your bag, we are nearly done. Right, let's put that there. And so I need to do my little quarter inch in the middle. Ba, ba, ba. That's done. So I've done that, and then I need a little half an inch, which is going into the spine. And then I need 2 inches, which is going to go up the short bit, for want of a technical term. So, and then I'm going to just take that little bit I cut to hopefully add on to my one over there. And I'm just doing that for the time being, because I'm going to have a little fiddle and see how best to cut that one. I mean, we are going to cover this and make it look beautiful, so hopefully we're going to make it look beautiful. So I'm not too worried about having to add bits here and there. All right, let's cut that and cut that like that. Oh, I should have probably done them a bit longer, but that's okay. Let's fold that this way, and I think we'll go this way. I've got this fold on there. Now where's my gluey glue? Get my gluey glue. Just stick that and hold it for a second. There we go. Now I need to work this bit out. I'm not entirely, I know how I'm going to do it. I'm going to cut on those folds just up to the score line, and then I'm going to just add a little adhesive there, and then get on there like that, and then I'm going to fold that like that and hold it in place, just pushing those edges to the side. So hopefully you can see what I've done there, and hopefully it's going to work. That's the next thing, isn't it? I think it will. I can't think of any reason why it wouldn't. But, we never know until we try, do we? So I've got this now. So I want that to go in there like that. And I want this down here like that and like that. Yes, it should work. Should work. Right, I've got a little bit of cardboard that I think I need to just bring it up a little smidgen more. Just mitering those little edges there because I think it will give me a better finish. And it does. Right. So now I need to really trim that little smidge off there. And all of this is going to be covered by pretty papers, so I'm not panicking about the overall finish because it's going to be fine. So that's why I like working in this card, packaging card, because you can, it's not like you feel if it goes wrong, it's really not the end of the world to chuck it in the recycling. Right, there we go. Let's get that in place there. Just holding it for a little while just to make sure that it gets a good bond. Pushing that spine in place. You're fighting with dinner. Oh. Hey, Liam. Well, Facebook user, thank you for trusting me and enjoying I really like the construction process. I really, really enjoy coming up with ideas like this. This gives me joy. Now I've got this. Just want that to adhere properly, and it's struggling, and I don't want it to struggle. Please don't struggle. Why does that not want to stick down? Because I want it to, probably. Right, I will come back and address that if it doesn't work. Now I've got this little piece here which I can add there, and I know I need to, that's 1/4 inch coming up, so if I just cut off a little 1/4 inch, I shall be able to stick that on, and it's fine that there's a gap because, like I said, I'm covering it all anyway, so it's fine. So I just need to take off a little smidger there, and I'm happy. Oh, fantastic, Jill. Oh, I love that. And I'd love to see what you do. Yeah, I just thought the channels would work because, if you're filling it up with stuff, you don't want it coming out the other end. So, but yes, the one I've just done, I would say is probably a better way of doing it than this one I'm just adding to, because I didn't think of it until after the event. Oh, that needs to be cut off a little bit more. And we'll put that in place now. Please fit. Yes, you do. That's what we like. There we go. So that is about, get it in there about right. There. And I'm going to add a little bit of adhesive to the little join there, just to help keep it together. So now I've got my folio with my spine and my two little doodads. Okay. Oh no. I feel you, Angela. I have hair that does not know how to behave in a civilized manner at all. Right, I like that. And I think it's probably time to start thinking about covering it and decorating it. The good bit, the fun bit. So, and we'll also think about some sort of closure as well. Because closure would be good. Hello, Johnny Valdo. There we go. All right. So, folio complete. It's time to cover it, and so now I need to think of what I want to cover it with. Which is a very good question. Let's have a look. Oh, it's hard to decide. Let's have a look. What have I got that I quite fancy using? I think maybe. Whoops, that was the paper doodad going. Don't panic. Bear with me. I'm just grabbing some papers to have a look at and decide what to use. We will get there. Oh, let me get the whole. I get the whole thingy out. Oh, let's get the thingy out, and then I can have a look and see what I fancy using. Right, we're not going to be using Pink Christmas, that's for sure, because we'll save that till next year. I know what I want to decorate it with, so I want something that's going to go with my decoration. Oh, alchemy is quite nice. I do quite like a bit of alchemy. I mean, none of them are horrible, are they? Let's face it. Right, I'm going to go with alchemy. Going to go with some alchemy because I think that's going to work. Yes, alchemy's going to work with what I want to do. So we're going to go with that. Right. Oops. Oh, just fighting with my... Hi, Deb. How are you lurking? Right, let's have a look. Ooh, that's a bit nice, isn't it? And I quite like this as well. Now, yeah. Let's have a look. Any more? Oh gosh, I love these. Oh, I love those numbers. I love those numbers so much. Love the writing. Oh, it's a hard choice. I'm going to go with this. I think. I will decide now. I quite like that. I think that's quite nice. Okay, yes. Yes, that is what I'm going to go with. And those edges will just fold around a bit, which is perfect as well. Oh, there's banging going on downstairs. I hope it's good banging. I hope it's for a good cause. Now, if I come up a little bit, then I'm going to be able to fold over the bottom edge as well. So I'm just drawing a line so I know where I'm cutting. That's right, Rachel. Draw a line on the liney piece of paper, so it would be virtually impossible to find, but I'm sure we can. Oh, Deb, it is a lovely pad. It's really, really, really nice. I really like it. And the molds that go with it are super cool. Right. So then I can put this, if I put that like that and bring it round like that, I'm just checking everything is going to fit where I want it to fit, and it is, which is fabulous news. I want it that way there, I think. Yeah, I do. I want it that way. Oh, choices, the hell. So I want that like that, and then I'm going to take my pencil, because it's far easier than going through the hell of measuring. I think I've done enough measuring to last me for a little while, and I'm just drawing the bit that I want to cut out. As you see now, when I fold this here, I want to cut out this bit here. But I'm going to fold up that edge. Let me just make sure I'm up to the top edge there, not quite. Hang on. So I need to come up a little bit higher again. So I'm going to cut that piece, this piece I'm going to cut out. If I can find where I put my scissors. Let's get another pair. It's just easier, isn't it? Why do you have multiple scissors? Because I'm forever putting them down and forgetting where I put them, that's why. So let's cut that like so. And like, come along you. Like so. Lovely. And then I'm going to get some craft glue, if I can reach it. If not, we'll be using something else. Oh, we're going to use mixed media glue then, because I can't reach the craft glue. No, that's glossy gel. Where's my craft glue? Oh, how rude. It's disappeared. Well, that is just rude. Let me get, I'll get bookbinding instead, I think, because I need something that I can just cover this paper with. So, right. Now, Let's just move this other paper out of the way for a second, because otherwise I'm going to get into a right pickle, and we don't want to get into a right pickle. Right. Happy days. Let's take this glue. If you're wondering about the black card, it's so you don't get a glare from my lights. That's why I've put it on there. It's not for any interesting purpose. Oops. Right, so I'm just popping some book binding glue on here. I really enjoy using this adhesive, but I'm not sure if we've got it in the shop. I'm not sure if Leanne's got it in the shop yet, but I will be encouraging it because it's very good. Can't see what I'm cutting. Oh no! Right, I'll show you now. Joe. I'll show you. Sorry, I must have come down out of the camera shot. So I will show you what I've done. I mean, I'm making this up as I go along, so it could be. We'll find out if it's a complete mistake. So what I've done is I've cut out a little do for here, so that when I put this on here like so, I can then fold these up and over. You see, that's my plan. Let me just make sure. Yeah, but I need to just mitre my corners, because the best thing is you can join in whenever you want and always watch back at you. Absolutely, yeah, especially on a Sunday, because Sundays go on somewhat. So I'm just mitering those corners. I'm not going right to the edge, but I'm going quite close, and then I can bring these edges up. There, see, my mitre wasn't properly gauged there, so it's not quite right. But okay, because I'm going to be painting this and putting other papers on and all the rest of it. So there you go. You can learn from my error there, and make sure that you don't mitre. I mitered it too short. I should have measured it, but I've run out of my measuring brain now. But I will be able to correct it and make it look nice, so it's not the end of the world. Just get those edges, and of course, if you wanted a really nice finish, if you were doing this sort of thing, you could score the paper beforehand, and that would give you a really nice professional finish. But I didn't go for that because it's casual Sunday, and I'm being casual. So just add in a bit more adhesive. In fact, I have to say, probably if I had scored it, I probably would have made my life a little bit easier when it came to doing these little bits of sticking down. I've got a little bit of excess on the top there, but we won't worry about that just yet because we'll get all the papers on first, and then get all the papers in place first, and then worry about finishing things off nicely, because we might need a little bit of excess in the top for something we don't know yet. So I'm just pushing up underneath here with my ruler to give me something to push against, putting that paper in place. So there we go, that's the outside looking nice. I'm happy with how that's coming together. And I've got what I wanted at the bottom, which was that nice extra bit there. So let's get another bit of paper and sort the inside bits out. Let me see. Let's have a look at what we have got. Oh, lots of. I'm using the same collection. I'm just trying to decide. I love the number paper so much. I do love it so much. It would be I can't use because I love this paper so much, and also I'm looking at it and I'm thinking that's got lots. I could cut that up and get lots of use out of that. I can't. Hi Judith. Hi Judith. Nice to see you. I can't use that as a cover because I think it's just too good to use as a cover. What do I have? Oh, I like that bit. That's quite a nice bit. I like those squares on there as well. Oh, the hell of choosing. Right, that's two good sized bits there. Now, I think I'm going to need the bigger one for in here. And I quite like that at the top as well. I want to keep this detail on the top. So let this on here, and again I'm going to use my pencil. Using my pencil. No, actually I quite like. Oh, it's difficult. This is a problem with lovely double-sided papers because they have so many nice things on them. It's really hard to decide which one you want. Right, so I'm just going to draw around this so I know how big I want to cut it. And we'll start by cutting that, and then obviously we're going to have to make some adjustments to fit it into place, but that's okay. So let's cut this paper, just lining my cutting line up. Oh, it's hell. It's hell, Sue. I am gonna use the numbers on the outside of the pockets, but it's hell when you've got a really nice piece of paper. But equally, if I use it for this, I'm gonna see it all the time because I'll be using it because I'm making something that's gonna be practical for me to put things in. So it's worth doing. It's worth using. I'm gonna use it. Oh, hell. Oh, it's hard. Right, so the next thing I need to do, I mean, if you like doing measurements, you could do all of this with measurements. But like I said, I've used my measuring brain up now. So I need to just do it the easiest way I can, which is to draw the lines. I know that that's 2 inches, so I just need to make 2 cuts that go up 2 inches. 2 cuts that go up 2 inches. Remember that, Rachel, remember that. And right, this starts at 12, so if I take my cut to 10, I need a new blade in this. Yes, that should do it, and I'll do the same on here. So if I go to the 10 and cut down, and these now should fit, hopefully, fingers crossed. Hang on, just a little bit of a tangle. How are we doing? Oh, we've been going for an hour, so we're all right. We're not doing too badly so far this week. I'm not torturing you all too much. Right, so somewhere along the line, right, on there, that fits. So why does it not fit this way? Right, that needs to be a little bit shorter. But because I've got folds over and things like that, I'm not bothered about having to trim off little bits because I know it won't notice. So I'm going to trim just a shade off here, and I'll do the other side as well, because if I've got to do one side, I'll probably end up having to do the other side too. Yeah. So let's try you now. Oh yes, that's going to fit in there. And does that need? Why is that not coming down there? Let's have a look. Is it getting caught on the piece of paper maybe? So I'm just faffing with this now to make sure it's going to fit, and it is. So that's good. So now I need to make sure it fits in the other side too. Let's have a look. There is a little bit of faffing and wriggling and whatever, because let me get my ruler in. Because of the edges inside the cardboard, really. I mean, this is stuff that maybe I'm not no maybe about it. I am doing this in an odd order. If you knew what you were doing from the beginning, you could probably have stuck the paper down first and then folded it and done the pockets. But because I'm making this up as I go along, I don't know what is going to go where until I put it there. Right. Let me just take that one out and try this one on its own. Because once it finds its path, it will be happy, but it hasn't quite found its path yet. There we go. There we go. Happy days. Right, that's going to go in there. The other one's going to go on the other side, and we're all going to be merry and bright. So let's get this in. Hi, Sharon. Right, so bit of adhesive. Again, you could use the book binding glue if you prefer. I'm just sticking a bit on there. And fingers crossed that this is all going to go where we want it to go now. Oh, what a palaver. Yeah, I've put your paper on before. You put your flaps on. But I got there. I've got it. That's it. That's nicely in place. I'm just going to add a little bit more adhesive here. Oh, I feel like I've really accomplished something by getting that in place. Oh my goodness. That was quite a job. There. So now I want my side bits covered. And I'm just making sure that all my creases are going to work. And again, there's still some tidying up to do at the top here, but I'm not even thinking about that at the moment, because I want to make sure I get it all covered how I want it covered first, and then I will worry about finishing it off. Oh, that's nice. I'm happy with that. That's looking good. Happy days. Oh, what's that doing? Flapping around there. That needs a little bit more glue on it. Go. Let's get you properly glued down, you cheeky piece of paper. There. Yes. That is looking good. I'm happy with where we're going with that. A bit more glue. Right, pockets. And I'm going to use that lovely number paper on the pockets, because that way I get to see it properly. This background paper is going to end up not being seen so much, so it would be a shame to use a really nice paper somewhere where it's not going to be seen. And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's it. Just making sure, again, taking my time. I just want to make sure that everything is adhered really well. I don't want to create something that's going to end up falling to pieces. I want to create something that's going to be good for me to use. So yeah, like that. Just making sure. Again, yeah. Okay. Now, oops, I'm just throwing a light over myself. I don't really want to do that. Just going to find that piece of paper now. Hopefully it hasn't run away. No, there it is. Gorgeous little numbery piece. Look at that. Oh, it's lovely. I love it. Hi, Louise. Hi. So I need to cut my panels now to sit on these pieces. So I am going to take some measurements for this because it's going to make my life a lot easier. Just making sure, again, just keeping it there. Good area. Okay, measurements. So we are looking at, I need a longer ruler. So we are looking at, say 7 by 4. 7 by 4, but add a 1/4 inch for the little fold over bit there. So 7 by 4 and 1/4 is what I want. Paper trimmer again, and let's have that. And 7 inches. Oh, cutting a lovely paper. And then we're going to go 4/4 from this side, like so. And I'm going to flip it and do 4 1/4 from that side. And then I'm just going to pop that down and get my little scoreboard, because I'm going to score it this time, having learned the hard way that it's harder not to. So I just faffing because I can. So, right, so I need to do a little quarter edge there that I'm going to completely ignore for my cutting, but I want it there so I can do that bottom edge, and I want it to go this way on this one, because I've tried to keep the border symmetrical, if that makes sense. Oh, it's windy, isn't it? It is windy. Okay, and then I'm going to make this mark that we made when we did the panels. So I'm going to come in an inch from the top there, and 2 inches from the bottom. So hopefully I'll be able to see those, and I'm going to do the same on this one. So I'm going to come in, remember now, come in an inch. Now that's right. That's right. And then up 2 inches from the bottom. There we go. So I've got my marks so I know where I'm cutting. And so now the pattern is making it difficult to see where my marks are. There and there. Line that up. Cut that. And because I'd folded that bit there, that's ready to, I can flip that over. So that should, in theory, that should fit quite nicely there. does. So I'm happy about that. This is extra paper that I need to cut off there, so I'm not worried about that. I've got a little bare bit here, but I'm going to do a little bit of paint sponging, which is going to cover up any bits I don't like. So yes, happiness, I think. And then I've got this one going from there to there. There. And I'm just checking that's a pencil. No, it wasn't a pencil line, it was part of the pattern. There we go. Yeah, I'm right now. I'm right. I'm right. Okay. And we'll have that one on there. Yes, happy days. Okay. Hi, Carrie. Hi, Louisa. Right, so we've now got these bits. And I think I should probably cut this bit now, actually, before I end up getting confused by it. Just going to do that for now, and then I'll go back over this with some sandpaper in a minute. Otherwise it'll be like a really bad haircut and I'll just be getting wonkier and wonkier, and I don't want to do that. So right, let's stick these pieces on here. Nice bit of adhesive. And bring that up there. Just wrapping that in place. A little bit over where I want to be. I think on the whole that's going to work. Let's take this piece and put that one into place. There we go. Right up. There, so I'm happy with where we are at so far. A little bit, I've cut that a little bit wonky. I can feel that's just paper there. Oh, scary. Don't ruin it, Rachel. That's a little bit better. That paper's a little bit high up there as well. Right. And that paper's a little bit high up there. Oh, that's the sound you want. You want to be just cutting paper and not anything else. So just making sure those edges are nicely in. So I like that so far. Just tucking that one in. Does that need a bit of glue in there? because we want it to be nice and solid. We don't want, yeah, that needs a little bit of glue. Just so it's nice solid construction. Right, now I'm going to add a little bit of paint sponge in, and then I'm going to add a little bit of decoration to the front, which I know what it's going to be already, but I'm going to keep it as a surprise for you. There. Oh, we got Glenys in the house. Hey, Glenys. Blavers. Matimi. Oh, thank you, Sue. Oh, I'm glad you like how it's looking. I'm glad you like it. I'm all right with it, so I'm happy with it so far. But like I said, I mean, I am making it up as they go along, so you know, anything could happen really. But it's working, I think. I think it's working. Right, let's get some. I am slightly concerned about that edge. I feel like I need to do something with it, but I can't quite decide. Let's get. I'm going to pop my craft knife just down this knife to straighten that up, because I cut it with my scissors and I didn't get as straight a cut as I would have liked, and it's bothering me. So there's no need for it to bother me because I can tidy it up. I'm going to do it now before I start any painting. That is the sensible thing to do. Excuse me, just telling myself that's the sensible thing to do. Right. Oh, yes, that's looking a bit better now. Yes, lovely. Pushing that down as well. Right. Next is paint, and I'm going to use the Allegros. I'm going to get the cookie and turquoise out because they will work really well with this, and they'll also work with what I plan to do for the decoration. So let me find my cookie, which is, I need to get more cookie. I need to put that on my shopping list for Leanne. Oh, come on, I must have a little bit somewhere. It can't have all gone. No, I've got a little bit. Right, let's get a little bit of sponge. Got a little bit of sponge. And I'm going to get the stencils I'm going to use. Bear with me, I've just got to grab them from next door because I washed them as I used them. Right, I've got them. And I want a little bit of white paint as well, which might sound odd, but add in the white, just really, it'll really work. Now these stencils are the Olga's new collection, Olga Heldwin's new collection, and they're rather fabulous. Hi Jane, lovely to see you. And I'm gonna, yeah, let's get on with it, Rachel. Stop wittering and do. That's probably the better thing. So just gonna pop some little squirts of I've got cookie, and I've got turquoise, and I've got white, and I'm going to be using those for my painting. Just take that off there. There we go. Let's pop that there. And I want some bits of sponge, so I use tiny bits at a time because I don't, you don't need big bits, basically. There we go. I have one for the white and one for the colour. And I'm gonna add a little bit, and I don't put too much paint through either because I want it to dry really quickly, so it's better to not put too much paint through. There we go. Let's start with a bit of this. Yep, like that. And now I'm going to go, I've dipped my sponge into the next colour. Just going to add some turquoise. And then I'll flip my sponge around and use the other side and just add in some cookie. Just a little bit. I mean, we're going to age all of this anyway, but there we go. So it's not much. It's, but it's just, for me, I like making things my own, and I like adding a bit of this and that. So I'm gonna just pop this one here, and I'm gonna do the same process with this is the bigger doofers, checkers, that's what they're called, isn't it? And again, I'm not putting too much paint through because I want it to dry. This is a brilliant stencil. It's going to be one of those that's going to stay on my desk, and it's going to be used time and time again in different projects, because a checkerboard is always useful. Oh, I mean, we stream into a few different platforms, so I never know where anybody is, when they're chatting to me on here. So there we go. I've just added a little bit there, and I do have plans for this front cover, so I'm not too worried about going too mad with it. But what I'm going to do now is on these edges, I'm going to use exactly the same ink combination as I've used on the stencils. So I'm just doing exactly the same combination of the white, the turquoise and the cookie, just dipping in randomly. There we go. And you can see I find turquoise and cookie they're my dream team. They just work really well together. So just coming along. Now I know that these corners need a little bit of extra paint, because if you remember, if you were watching earlier, my mitering was a little bit off on there, so I can use this paint now to just cover up those little bits that need covering up. And you could always add I can't think what the word for it is, you know, when you strengthen a corner, I don't know, corner strengthener maybe, I don't know, but I'm just adding the paints on all my edges. In any, you know, it doesn't matter what combination I use, because the three of them will just work together. And because it's an acrylic paint, it's going to add a little bit of strength to my structure, which I'm very happy about. I'm using that sponge. Just to give me, oh, no, I didn't want to go on there, but I have now, so I'll continue. Getting all of those edges, and it's going to help keep everything together nicely. What colours did Rachel? Turquoise and cookie. Peggy, turquoise and cookie from the Allegros are my dream team. And if you use Andy Skinner's pigment ones, he's got a turquoise and a, oh, I think it's gold quinacridone, something like that, and it's a similar combination which I really love with those as well. I just think it just works. And then if you add the white, it just takes it to a slightly different, more interesting look. But then, you know, I mean, that's how I feel. We all have our own tastes, don't we? And it might not be for you, but I love it. It's my favourite combination. Get those corners that you hardly notice that I goofed them up. Thank goodness. What? There we go. A bit more blue up here. And I'm using tiny bits of paint because I don't want anything that's going to stay wet for too long. I want it all to just dry nice and quickly and make my life a lot easier. And just on that back edge now, taking it right on the edge, and it's going to add a strength to the adhesion as well. It's going to keep everything where we want it. A little bit of white. Just getting that spine. Like that. There we go. I like how this is looking. Just that, a little bit more. And I think we are nearly ready for a bit more of something else. Right. Let me get the next thing I want to do, which is this other stencil, which I love. Now I'm going to place this. Where am I going to place it? That's the question. Thinking about where I want it, and I think I want it. I'm not worried about that splash so much. Or do I want it more in that corner? I don't want it centrally because I'm not really. The reason I don't like putting things centrally is because sometimes it's quite difficult to get them centrally. So the easiest thing to do is to not put things centrally, and then you don't ever have to worry about whether it's central or not. That's my plan anyway. So I think I might go, yeah, top right corner maybe. Yeah. Okay. So I'm just going to grab some of my, I've got some tape that I want to tape this into position because it's not a totally flat surface. But oops, hitting myself in the head with the light. Because it's not a totally flat surface, I'm going to tape it into position, or if you've got stencil adhesive, use that, because you know it's only going to end in tears, isn't it? And you want it to look nice, so it's worth taking a little bit of time to make sure that it does look nice. So let's pop a bit of tape there. This tape's really good. It comes off really nicely. And I'm going to tape that down to my mat there. And I'm going all out with the tape because I want this to work. So if you're not sure, I think, you know, a good thing to do is to do a panel instead, and then stick the panel on the cover. That'd be a good idea, Rachel. But obviously I'm not doing that. That's bowing it, doing it like that, because I'm pulling it down over the edge. Oh, right. Okay. Let's do this. And I'm going to hold it down as well, and fingers crossed we're going to be okay. Now, what I'm using in my stencil, and if you've seen any of the pictures of what I've done with Olga's collection, when I've used this stencil. Hi, Mona. When I've used this stencil, you can see there's a crackle effect, and that's because I've used this white crackle paste, and it's really, really simple to use. So let's make this work now, please. Fingers crossed. Right. Now I've got a fair bit on here, and I want to hold this stencil really flush to my surface, and I don't want to mess about with it too much. It's because it's an uneven surface that I'm slightly worried. But he who dares wins, or she who dares wins. Anybody who dares wins. Right. Okay, now I'm not going to push that anymore through the stencil because it's an uneven surface. What's underneath is going to give, and it's going to allow more to go through. Oh, I've got a slightly dodgy flower. Apart from that, we're okay. And I can mend the slightly dodgy flower. I'm not worried about that. Right, I need to just go and pop my stencil in a sink of water because otherwise I'm going to have issues with it. And I love it too much to lose it. Right, my stencil is soaking in its sink. And let me come back to this now. Pop my lid on there because otherwise that's another mess waiting to happen. And then now, obviously the flowers aren't 100% how I'd like them to be, but that's okay. We can live with that. I think on the whole, stenciling on an uneven surface, that was fairly successful. Let's come up a little bit too high there. There we go. So now I'm going to get my heat gun, and hopefully it's got enough to it to let me dry this. Because if you've watched before, you will know that my poor heat gun is a very unhappy creature. It's an amazing stencil. It's in the shop, and it's beautiful. There we go. Right. So, come on, heat gun, you can do it. You can do it. So I'm just drying this off now. And as it dries, we'll start to see the crackles appearing. Come on, heat gun. You can do this. Go. Oh, it's a poor sad thing. You're glittering. Well, I'm afraid I have messed up a little bit of my stenciling, Olga, but it's going to be okay. I'm gonna rescue it. So I love this this white crackle paste in particular with this stencil because it just gives such a lovely effect on the skeleton. It is just a lovely, lovely effect. And it will keep going for a little bit longer as well because we're force drying this. you know, you can see there's already some fabulous crackling going on, but that will increase. I'm just wiping that down there a little bit because I don't want knobs on the end of my page which are going to end up breaking off. But yeah, so there is even more crackle that will come from this. So there we are. A little bit more. Just want to make sure that it's dry enough for me to do things with. I think we are there. So I've got that now. Now what I want to do is I want to really sort of bring it to the fore and highlight it and make it look like an interesting part of this cover. So I'm going to take a little bit of black paint. I'm using black rather than grey just because it's quite a dark background. If it was a lighter background, then I'd use a grey paint. Don't judge me by the colour of my water. I know I am ashamed, but you know, I don't want to waste water. Don't want to waste water. So I've just got this little bit of acrylic that I'm going to water down and use almost like a watercolour, really. Just going in there. Actually, that's a little bit too dark. Let me get some more water on my brush and I can just thin that out a bit. Because we don't want to completely kill the background, but we do want to have a sense of shadow behind here. So there we go. Just getting that bit of shadow going on. Now, just doing this will do a few things. It'll give it a bit of dimension and make it pop from the page, and that's what we want to do. And you can do this with any drawing or stencil, or stamping, anything you're doing that you want to have a little bit more dimension. Just pop some shadow on it. Now I'm being a bit Speedy McCready with this, and I'm going up on the edges, but that's okay. I don't think it's going to detract from the overall look. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Oh, thank you, Sue. Thank you. Thank you. There is a little code you can add if you want to add, and that sort of is a way of, I get a little bit of commission. You don't pay anymore, but I get a little bit of commission, and Leanne gives me a pat on the head if you have been encouraged to buy because of watching what I do. And I can't remember what that code is off the top of my head, but I will try and remember. I don't know, Leanne, what's the code that people can use? If they feel so called to do so. Obviously, it's not a necessity, and nobody knows either way. it's just quite nice for me to. It's nice for me to know I've encouraged you not to spend money, but to create projects. And it's a nice kind of thank you. Not that I need thanking. I'm quite happy doing this. I'm absolutely rubbish when it comes to talking about things like that. But you know what I mean. We're all friends. Right, so you can see where I've been adding that shadow. It just gives it a little pop, doesn't it? Gives it a little pop. Right, okay. I think that's enough shadow. Yes, affiliate code. That's the, yes, thank you, Olga. I haven't got enough words today at all. So I fell off my chair yesterday. I don't know how I did it. I was chatting to my mum, who's off on some adventure on her own, and I was saying to her, oh, maybe you should take someone with you. And the minute I said that, I fell off my chair and went flying. And I think my mum cursed me for insinuating that she might need some help. And yeah, I went flying off my chair. And it landed on top of me. It was a very, it was such a bizarre experience that the bizarreness kind of took over from any theme, because it was just, how on earth did that happen? But I like to keep myself on my toes, keep life interesting, and yeah, certainly did. Just bringing that black in here as well. Now, where I have over stenciled this and I've lost some of the lines I want, I'm just bringing that black into those lines, because that way, hopefully it should. I'm going to get the black on that little circle as well, because I can add the dots that I want back in. So don't worry about how it looks at the moment. There's more to come. But this hopefully will help rescue the flower, because I really like the things in this. Yeah. So we're part of the way to rescuing that one. And what do I want now? Now I want a little cookie. Oh, it's a good job. Oh, come on. There we go. Managed to get a little smidger. And again, I'm using lots of water with it, because I want it nice watery consistency. And I'm just going to go along the edge of some of these bones. Just a little bit, not going mad with it, just a little bit, just to add a little bit of something. Just adding, making sure I don't bring too much onto it. So I want to keep the white as well. I want it all. I want it all, and I want it now. So just It's just adding to that shadowy detail. That's all. And I have no idea why. It's how I like doing it. There. Just add in a little bit more. And you can see it's just coming together. It's just, you know, I mean, you could just stencil this and leave it if you want. That's, you know, you don't have to do all of these little bits and bobs. But if you like a bit of faffing around, you can. And I like a bit of faffing around. Not always, but sometimes I do. This is Cookie again, so it's a really versatile little workhorse, the Cookie. And it's one Cookie and Umber and turquoise and white. Yeah, Cookie, Umber, turquoise and white, and maybe a gold. Or do lots of nice things on your projects. Oh, did I frighten people off by... Mind you, I've been here for a little while, so I can understand. Right, so there we go. And it's important to remember to give this a little varnish when we've finished as well, because we want to keep that crackle in place, and crackle can chip off if you don't varnish it in place. All right, let's get a bit of turquoise now. And I'm going to put this on my splash. My splash is going to be a turquoise splash. And again, don't worry too much about... There's a little bit of something there. Don't worry too much about getting it perfect, because I'm going to be adding a little bit of antiquing gel. And antiquing gel tends to really help to cover a multitude of sins. So don't panic if you don't get it exactly how you want it. Oh, I tell you what, that Fiona Randall, she did a live, I can't remember what day it was, but she did a live in the Jammers group, and it's still there. You can Linda has catalogued the lives, so you can go and look for them by guest project and all the rest of it. So it's not hard to find. But she did a project in this last week, and she used the antiquing gels for a beautiful effect. It was really fabulous. So if you've got them and you're wondering what to do with them, or you fancy them, definitely it's worth catching up with Fiona's live, because she did a lovely effect there. So I should have probably used a bigger brush, but there are some little fine areas, and I didn't want to go too mad. Right, I've got my nice spot there. Right, let's clean my brush, and I do need to just wipe this paint, which I know is a terrible waste, but I'm quite messy, and I know I'll put my arm in it. Nikki! Oh my goodness, it's good to see you there. It's very good to see you there. I hope you're feeling okay and not in too much pain. There we go, let's pop that there. And then I'm going to take a red and an orange Posca pen. Can you see what I'm doing? Let's go there. Red and an orange Posca pen to do these flowers. So I'm just scribbling over the paste. I'm not worrying too much because I can know that I'm going to be coming back over here with the red one. And like I said, I know I'm going to be using my antiquing gel, so there's no panic about anything really. I'm just getting it on. This enables me to have quite a good amount of control with where my colour's going. I don't know why I have to do these flowers this colour, but I just think, you know, I mean, if you look at the colour wheel, it's quite a nice complementary colour thing going on there. So I'm just gonna add the red now, and then I can always go in as well with my paintbrush if I want to and blend these out a little bit more. But I think they're going to be all right. I don't think I'm going to need to, but if you feel the need to, Posca pen, as long as you catch them immediately, they blend quite nicely with water. There we go. Oh, I think by the time the dirty one won't show. I should have needed to do a little bit of turquoise on this skeleton as well, just a little shade of it. Let's get the orange one. And we can really make this pop. There we go, just adding that colour. Oh, I've gone off. Hang on, bear with me. Bear with me. I think you can still hear me, but I just need to plug my camera in, so don't panic. I am here, and there's nothing wrong with the broadcast. It's just that my poor camera has said, "Blimey heck, you've been on here for ages." So I just need to plug it in. That is all Oh, I wish I could see what I was doing. That would help. I am still here. I'm just plugging my camera in. That is all that's happening. And hopefully I should be... Whoop. Are we going to be okay there? Hopefully. Yes, we're back. Sorry, my battery went on my camera, so I just had to plug in. But we're okay. It's okay. I'm back. I'm plugged in. It's because I haven't put my camera on charge for a little while, and these lives can be a little bit long if you haven't noticed. So yeah, poor camera. It does get abused, really, doesn't it? So again, just coming round here. And where am I? There we go. I'm just moving because I moved my camera by accident when I was plugging it in. So there we go. Just adding all the orange. And adding this orange first makes a really big difference to the overall depth of colour that you get. You know, layering it up is really, really important if you want it to look nice. So let's get this red. Oh, everybody's going. There we go. Just going to finish this off. I'm just going to finish my project. So if you're here, you're here. And if you had to go, you had to go. And it's all good. Sunday afternoons are very long. Because it's a whole project, start to finish. And, you know, and that includes kind of the concept of it as well, because we deliberately don't plan what we're going to do, because I don't know, we're mad. No, because it's the idea that, you know, when generally, if I do lives anywhere else, I plan it, I prepare it, and I'm in and out in about an hour generally. So we decided that for Sunday afternoons, it would be really nice for people to actually see what happens, you know, when we're thinking about a project for a live or a class or whatever, how we do the whole thing, how we come up with it. Because obviously now, if I wanted to do this as a live or a class somewhere else, I've got all the measurements that I need. I know what I need to put where and all the rest of it. So now that I've done my initial design, it's really easy to, well, I'm saying really easy. I'm not going to go as far as really easy, but it's relatively easy to create the design again. It, you know, it won't take anywhere near as long. Does that make any sense, or am I just waffling? I'm probably just waffling. But what my husband's up to downstairs. Hopefully he's moving. We've got we're getting a floor put into our living room, which is really exciting because I live in quite an old house and it needs lots of things doing to it. And one of the things it needs doing to it is it needs to have a floor put in. I'm just looking for my white posh cabinet. And we need to clear our living room so that the floor can go in. Right, that's not really as bright as I would like it. Let me give that pen a little pump. It could have run out actually. I think it might have run out. Right, put it in the bin, Rachel. That's a good tip. When you come across a pen and it's run out and it doesn't work, put it in the bin. Because if you're anything like me and I forget to put them in the bin, this one should work. I forget to put them in the bin and then I end up grabbing it several times then and suffering the frustration of a pen that just doesn't work. Well, I might need to come back to that bit. Right, a little bit of turquoise on those bones and then we'll pop the antiquing gel on and we are, too much, Rachel. We are nearly kind of at the finishing mark, really. We're not far off now. I don't know where I put my paintbrush. That's weird. Oh, it's in front of me. Donut. Right, so I'm just going to take a tiniest bit of turquoise, like hardly any at all, and I'm just adding a little tiny smidge on these bones, just hardly any at all. Because it's just going to add to the overall effect. There we go. That is all I wanted. I do feel very wasteful with that blob of paint, but as we have ascertained, I can't be trusted when there's paint around on the side. Right, let me grab some antiquing paste a minute. Not antiquing paste, antiquing gel. A second. There we go. So I've got the umber, and I'm going to get some kitchen towel at hand straight away. Where are we? Oh, thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, Peggy, I'd be doing this. I would be doing this on my own without the cameras on anyway. So honestly, it's quite nice really because I've got company. Oh, come on now. My heat gun is loath to work. Come on. I don't know why I'm shaking it, but so I'm just drying off that paint and pen that we've added before I put the antiquing gel on, because otherwise it'll just smudge into and we'll lose all of that, which would be a bit of a shame, wouldn't it? Right, there we go. And I've got this antiquing gel, which is just brilliant stuff. I'm going to get a bigger brush and I'm going to wet my brush as well, because I want to make sure that I can take off quite a lot of this. So because of that, I'm going to make sure everything's quite moist, because I want this to go in cracks and crevices, but I want to be able to take off any excess. I don't want to lose all that definition that we've created. So I'm keeping it very wet because this stuff is great, and once it's dry, it's dry on there and it's not going anywhere. So keeping it wet until you've got it exactly where you want it is pretty key. There we go. All right, that's about everywhere I think that I need it to be. Now I'm going to take my kitchen roll and I'm taking loads of it off, and I'm just left with the bits in the cracks. Now I want a little bit more back on there as well. So nice wet brush, getting in there, because it's on those edges, it's sticking and doing a really nice job of defining that. Oh, I'm going to cover up that little bit there as well. Defining that that flower. So even though I thought I'd mangled it, we've managed to. There we go. So I like how that's looking. Now the next and probably the last thing I want to do with it now is I want to give it some sort of protective coating, really. So I'm just drying that antiquing gel off. I want to give it a protective coating for two reasons. Because I want to protect the paper and give it extra strength, obviously, but also because I want to protect the crackle and keep the crackle from, getting bashed and knocked off the cover. So there we go. Those flowers are not half bad now. They're not half bad. They're okay. So I'm drying that because I'm going to add another layer of something on top. Lovely. Pop that back there, and let's find a nice varnish. No, we don't want glitter. What have we got here that I can reach? Silky shine, or maybe actually. Oh, I've got a little bit of this. I've got some acrylic wax. If I can get into it. And acrylic wax is lovely stuff. Oopsie. Oh, taking my camera. Too many wires to trip over. Right. If I just come over here, hopefully we'll be okay for a little bit longer. Right. Let me try and clean my brush in my filthy water. That's lovely. And I could probably do with a bigger brush again, actually. Let me see, what have I got next to me here? Oh, that'll do nicely. So I'm just using acrylic wax now, just to seal all of this in place, and it also gives a really nice finish to the paper. It's really nice stuff. I think a few different companies do it. Cadence do a very nice acrylic wax. There we go. And while I'm in this position, I'll actually do the edges. Just making sure it's in the cracks there. And let's do this side too. That's brilliant stuff, this is. And it will give it a protective layer as well, so that it won't matter if anything gets spilled on here. It will stay in one piece. Now, this stuff is much better if you leave it to cure overnight. I will give it a little drying and just try and finish this off, but it will kind of, when you dry it, I'll be able to get it drying like this, but it will be kind of tacky to touch, and it will take 24 hours really for that to not be the case. Right, what time are we on? Oh my goodness. Hi, Jess. Good morning. There we go. Let's just finish this off now. Like I said, it's going to be, this is not going to be, it's not going to feel smooth dry until tomorrow, because acrylic wax needs time to cure. But it's sticky dry now, so I'll be able to show you how I'm finishing it off. I got it too wet there still. It is mad stuff, acrylic wax. Take paper for leather. Really nice. There we go. Let's get into the camera shot so you can see it. Hello, Facebook user. Hello, Facebook user. So I just want to get it so that I can flip it over. And I'll probably wax the inside as well, but I'm not going to do that today, because obviously I won't be able to close it and show you the finished closed article if I do that, won't I? So bear with me. My poor heat gun is getting close to the end of its life, and it does take longer to dry everything. I'm not sure who else does acrylic wax. I was just trying to think if I could think of any other manufacturers, and I can't. But it is a lovely project. And there's another one that Cadence do called, oh, I'm trying to think now. I've got it on my desk actually, so I'll have a look and tell you. It's called, not Aqua, there's Aqua, yes, Aqua Stone Varnish, that's the one. And there's, oh, I should have used that. I've got, there's Decoupage Plus Matte, which is like a varnish, and then there's Aqua Stone varnish, which is like a glossy kind of finish, which is really lovely. But I've put acrylic wax on it, which is going to give it quite a leathery finish. So there we go. We've got, I'll just do that. Like I said, I'll use one of those varnishes on the inside here as well to keep it nice. But we've got our little folio now. So how I would fasten this is I'm going to tie some ribbon around it. You could also do, you could do a proper fastening on it. You could do a leather strap. You could fashion something so that can you see what I'm doing? Let me see. So you could fashion something so that your fastening comes through these sides, so you can't see where it's fixed in. But let me grab a piece of ribbon and tie it round just to give it the finishing finish. Hopefully. Well, if I've removed that again, yeah, I have. Oh my goodness. Everything is very precarious. But it's okay. We can do this. Oh, there's my ribbon box. Oh my goodness. Right. Let me grab some ribbon. I think that will be perfect. And pop that box out of the way. And just tie this up so you can look at it. My camera has just wandered over here. But there we go. There is my folio with my nice pockets to put things in, which I'm very excited about. And I'm getting lots of little bits. There we go. So yes, finished folio. The end. Look at the state of the side of my desk. That's the bit you don't normally see. Jamie, you're popping up all over the place. But yes, there we go. One folio. Let me move that a little bit and then put it there. One folio ready for use, and well, that's it. So managed to cut it back by half an hour this week on last week, so that's good. And the camera only went off briefly when the battery died. Oh, thank you, Peggy. Thank you. But yeah, it's a holder of things, isn't it? I don't know what I'm putting there. Lots of probably my when I prepare little bits and bobs to put on cards, I can slide them in there and keep them safe. So, or bits of ephemera, or anything I want actually. So it's very exciting. So you've been getting booted. Oh, how rude, Joan. How rude. So yeah, So like I said, don't forget the shop is online and in bricks and mortar form now, and there's going to be all sorts of classes running, both face-to-face classes and online classes. I know Leanne is going to have all sorts lined up and going on, which is very exciting. Oh, you're very welcome, Selena. You're very welcome. So, oh, thank you, Linda. And so that's that. So I am going to see if in amongst this mess I can find my laptop and I can end this broadcast, because I've sort of got myself into quite a pickle here. So bear with me, because I am going. I'm just finding how to go. There we go. So, and I think possibly next week I might be using some snip art stuff, because I think I've got a little package coming my way from Love and Life. Thank you for everybody joining me, and I will see you. Bye.